Ingram. Mike Arsenault is down on the competition floor. We parked the bikes. We're dragging out the pigs.
Hey, second verse, same as the first. The men are doing the same thing that the women did, starting with that pig flip. Now it's 510 pounds, and the only change is in the middle 100 wall ball shots. 20-pound ball, 10-foot target, 150 gymnastics reps in the middle. Here we go.
Recipe for success is delivered by Trifecta.
Be wary of your time, and no one did it better than Laurel Horvath in the previous heat, is just work her way back to the last 10 pig flips because she saved some for the turn. Those last 10 flips may not get beat by anybody out here.
Let's go down to Mike Arsenault was down on the field.
Well, thank you very much, Sean. As mentioned, the pig is back in CrossFit Games competition, and it's not in the warm-up area, so rookies may have an issue, although Olivia Kerstetter did not whatsoever. You mentioned it's 510 pounds. To give you an idea how heavy that is, the men will be taking this individually. To get these pigs on the field of play, it took 4 volunteers.
510 pounds, about 231 kilos. If you're watching this overseas. 2 heats of 20 men will be on the field. And if you're new to the sport, you wonder, hey, do they have weight classes or height or anything like that? And the answer is no, because Colton Mertens and David Sharonki are on the field at the same time. The reason why we're leaving a lot of headroom there is because there's a big difference between the height and weight between these two guys.
One of the biggest athletes in the field and the smallest athletes in the field. And like you said, Sean, there are no weight classes here at the CrossFit Games or in CrossFit at all, because there's no weight classes in life. And that is what demands us when it comes to competing, training for the general physical preparedness.
First of 2 heats is underway. Starts with 10 flips on that 510-pound, 230-kilo pig.
Now what's cool here is that when we talk about the 2 different statures between those athletes, and we have every walk of life between the 2 of them, is that in this test in particular, you have so many different elements that can favor different skill sets between those athletes. Mertens at 5'4" may not flip the pig as fast as everybody else, but when he gets to the rig, he is one of the best. So we'll see some ebbs and flows between different athletes as this test goes on.
Artur Semenov right now is your early leader on this opening set of 10.
Semenov 6'2", 218, 99 kilos. Track and field and weightlifting background. So what does that mean, how that transfers to the CrossFit realm? The guy is built for speed and he's built for power. You need both of those to be able to manage this pig.
And at the opposite end of the field, on the right side of your screen, is Kaiki Servani. In second place right now, as Semenov is done with those 10 pig flips, as is Servani.
Coming out of the South American Regional, first appearance at the CrossFit Games, won the South American semifinal. Set at 6'1", 212.
Artur Semenov making his second appearance here at the CrossFit Games as he gets to work on his 25 chest to bar pull-ups. Finished 39th in his rookie year. Never finished better than 20th in a test.
With a set of 15 for Semenov. Servane, right about the same. Common rep scheme we've seen for all athletes as the women 15 to 10.
G-Shock is giving you the chance to win a new G-Shock watch, a CrossFit Level 1 seminar, and more than $400 in CrossFit swag. Terms and conditions apply. Servani and Semenov are done with their set of 25 chest to bar pull-ups. Onto the 50 toes to bar. They got to hit the 85 rep mark before they will move on to the 100 wall balls. The leader's name at the top of your screen on the far left, that's where that will be located. And the number in the white box next to that athlete's name will indicate how many repetitions he has completed. The number in the white box next to the other athlete's names will indicate how many repetitions they are trailing the leader. 270 total reps here. Second of 3 tests that the individuals will face here on the opening day of competition at the 2023 Noble CrossFit Games. Last year that we will call Madison, Wisconsin, home to the fittest on earth. Chandler Smith is starting to move up.
The thing about Chandler Smith, he's a grinder. He's ex-wrestler. He's got that military background, but when it comes to events like this, it shapes up really well for his skill set. Super powerful, very athletic, and when it just comes to managing a total workload, this isn't a sprint, ever. That is not what this test is. It's a grinder. It's strategic. Can I do sets of 10, sets of 5? Can I manage my rest in between those sets? And that's something that fares well to someone like Chandler Smith.
Chandler Smith right now in 4th place. Spencer Panchik also in the top 5 as well.
Cerveny, Panchik, Semenoff, and Smith. Right at that 40 mark. Smith 5 reps behind that group.
Cerveny with 5 reps to go before he will move to the wall balls. As Spencer Panchik has moved himself into the lead, and that should be his last rep on the pull-up bar.
Panchik was hitting sets of 10. And you look at the difference between Cerveny and Panchik. Cerveny is he's just long. He's got long arms, long legs, very beneficial when it comes to wall ball shots.
Pretty quiet out here in the room.
Panchik is on the left, Cerveny is on the right, and right now they are two of the 4 men, on the wall balls, as Semenoff and Chandler Smith are working on their sets as well. 185 reps is what they need to get to before they will make the turn back down the field.
Cerveny just passing 20. 20-pound ball, 10-foot target. Looks like 25 for Cerveny and Panchik. Let's see, Cerveny did 20.
Chandler Smith in the mix now. We saw that in the race.
There's Archer Semenoff on the left side of your screen right now. 3rd place. 4th place in the battle with Bronislaw Lenkowitz. Spencer Panchik continues to lead though. 70 reps remaining for him on the wall ball.
Rookie season. First time on North Park here. The full 2023 Global CrossFit Games experience as we hit 6 minutes in.
There's Colton Mertens. Mentioned him earlier. Right now, inside the top 10, 7th place in this heat for Colton Mertens.
Just past the 25 rep mark for Mertens. And the thing for Mertens is that, yeah, he's got a less range of motion on the squat. That's nice, but how high he has to throw the ball relative to his height, that's a lot more arms that he's going to have to use. And the arms are a major player in this individual test. It's not about the legs. Yeah, the pig's heavy, it's 5'10", but that's more low back, grip, biceps, and press anyways.
Let's bring in Mike Arsenault. Mike?
Chase, for those watching who might be unfamiliar with the wall ball movement, I'm seeing a couple different techniques when it comes to the ball itself. The less rotation on the ball, it seems like those are the athletes who are able to string more reps together rather than having the ball rotate a lot. Why do you want less rotation? Why do you want less rotation on the wall ball when completing this movement?
When you look at the med ball and how it's packed, oftentimes as you do high volume reps, it tends to change the weight of the ball. So sometimes that rotation is because of the weight distribution in the ball, and it makes it very difficult to catch in cycles. So if you can get away from that spin, you have a nice controlled, solid movement down and up. But it's one of those tricks you do have to navigate as an athlete as you do those higher volume sets for wall ball shots.
The sun's starting to peek through more here at the North Park. We've been blessed with some cloud cover here that has kept the temperature from getting too out of control, but now it's starting to get pretty hot out here. Kaike Cerveny, still your leader. He and Spencer Panchik threw 70 of their 100 wall balls.
Cerveny is getting a couple no reps on depth on the right side of your screen. And Sean, you mentioned that the sun has come out. That has a dramatic effect on where you're facing on this rig, because if you're on the side facing the sun, that is a disadvantage, basically looking straight into the sun where it's sitting right now in the sky on your wall ball shots versus the other half of the field.
Bjorgvin Carl Gudmundsson, making his 10th straight appearance here at the CrossFit Games, has moved himself into third place. He's through 75 of his 100 wall balls. Bjorgvin Carl Gudmundsson is one of the most consistent athletes this sport has ever seen. He made his CrossFit Games debut in 2014. He finished 26th. After that, every finish has been 9th or better.
It's just wild consistency. It's why he's the greatest European athlete to ever do the sport here at the CrossFit Games. Took a top 5 finish in the ride earlier this morning. I know he's in Heat 1 now. He is not going to be in Heat 1 come tomorrow.
Spencer Panchik and Kaike Cerveny continue to swap the lead. In this first of 2 heats, 18-minute time cap. We're now halfway through that allotted time. 185 reps, and Spencer Panchik is now there. And he will move back to the pull-up bar for 50 toes to bar.
That's big for Panchik because he made his move on the rig. That's where he caught up to your top 2 athletes coming in, which is Cerveny and Semenov.
Getting ready to get underneath the rig.
Kaike Cerveny is done with his wall balls as well. 235 reps. That's the next mark they're looking to hit. And when they get there, they will then complete 25 chest-to-bar pull-ups.
Bjorgvin Carl Gudmundsson joining in onto the toe bar as well. Here comes Ulrich.
Panchik in the center lane is ripping off a big set, 15 toes to bar. Cerveny and Gudmundsson both doing 10. Smith with 5, working his way to 10.
The Bear Complex is giving viewers of the 2023 Noble CrossFit Games 20% off site-wide. Head to bearcomplex.com.
Looking very strong, and he has a method to his madness. Quick, short breaks.
Ludus Upniks has moved himself towards the top of this heat.
Uldis is great gymnastics. What he did before he started CrossFit was almost just like these calisthenics and bar routines.
No rep for Cerveny, and he's going to get back to work.
Scott Panchik, Spencer Panchik at 30 reps.
Making moves to take over first place.
235 reps is the mark these athletes are looking to hit before they get to the chest bar pull-ups. And then it's back to the pig for 10 final flips, as Bjorgvin Gudmundsson is just a handful of reps now behind Spencer Panchik. Kaike Cerveny has fallen back into third. Chandler Smith and Uldis Upniks rounding out the top 5.
Same goes for Kaike Cerveny.
There is Spencer Panchik.
We're at the 11.5-minute marker as Spencer Panchik.
One of the fittest families on earth. His older brother, Scott, competing in the Masters division, in the 35 to 39-year-old division. He was a fixture here at the CrossFit Games in the individual division for a while. And his twin brother, Saxon, has also been here at the CrossFit Games. There is James Sprague. Sprague was creeping up towards the top 5, but has now fallen off of that pace. Sits in 15th right now in this heat. Spencer Panchik has now gotten to work on his 25 chest-to-bar pull-ups. The only man on that movement at this point.
And he ripped off another big set. 15 of the 25 done for Spencer.
Chandler Smith is onto the chest bar pull-ups, as is Bjorgvin Gudmundsson. Uldis Upniks getting to work on that movement as well.
Starting to look at the times of their pig flips. Spencer is at 119, Gudmundsson 141, and Upniks 146. So the 3
Spencer Panchik is now done and will move back to the pig. He's got to flip it 10 more times. 510 pounds, 231 kilos on that thing.
13 minutes in. 13 minutes in.
Less than 5 minutes remaining before we hit the time cap, and Spencer getting to work on his first flip, and that one looks good.
Took about a 20-second break from the completion of his chest to bar to that first pig flip.
Now, Uldis Upniks will be the second man, along with Björgvin Gudmundsson.
BKG will not be denied as he chases down your number one athlete, Spencer Panchik.
270 total reps, that's what the athletes need to complete here. Spencer Panchik is through 3 of his final 10 pig flips, and now he'll fail a rep as Upniks is getting to work. Gudmundsson's already got one down. Here comes Chandler Smith.
And that miss was just a hand position slip. Like I said, there's not a lot of room to grab. It's a fingertip grab at the bottom of these pigs.
Cole Sager is also moving to the pig. The two men making their 10th straight appearances here at the CrossFit Games are towards the front of this heat. That's Björgvin Gudmundsson and Cole Sager. Spencer Panchik continues to lead, though. He has 5 reps remaining.
And Sprague is in the mix as well. And one of the taller athletes in the field. We got a lot of big boys in this heat.
Approaching the 15-minute mark. 18-minute time cap here, first of 2 heats for the men. Uldis Upniks and Björgvin Carl Gudmundsson are tied for second behind Panchik, with Sprague and Chandler Smith neck and neck for third. And Colton Mertens is now getting to work on the pig. He's in the background. That was his second flip. Spencer Panchik is done, and Spencer Panchik setting the early time to beat. 15 minutes, 20.83 seconds.
After that miss, took a step back, collected himself. His last 5 were much better than his first 5, and that's probably some wear and tear starting to come off of the pull-up rig.
Well, James Sprague is starting to catch up and pass Björgvin Carl Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson now in second place, just ahead of Sprague. Uldis Upniks has fallen back into third with Chandler Smith in fourth. Gudmundsson looking to finish second here in the heat ahead of James Sprague. Gudmundsson is done, and BKG will take second in the heat. And now James Sprague, great charge from him, and Sprague is across. Uldis Upniks trying to hold off Chandler Smith for fourth place in the heat. Uldis Upniks will do it. Upniks at 16:39.29 seconds, and now Chandler Smith is done.
Chandler Smith, baby, getting it done.
Kaike Serveni at the top of your screen right now, the leader on the field, along with Bronislaw Olenkowicz.
1 minute remaining.
Got Mertens in that center lane. 7 reps in, he's going down a little bit of a break as Sharonke comes up.
And now Sharonke and Mertens are tied. Now race to the finish between Olenkowicz and Serveni, and I think Olenkowicz is going to get the best of that. He does by 0.3 of a second. Now Sharonke is trying to finish up. Now Bailey Martin is out there as well. Bailey Martin towards the bottom of your screen as Sharonke is done, Martin is done. Less than now 15 seconds to go before we hit the time cap. Well, Colton Mertens gets across as well.
Countdown in 3, 2, 1, time. Up here,
10 men able to finish inside that 18-minute time cap, and it's Spencer Panchik who has the top time, 15 minutes, 20.83 seconds.
And Spencer Panchik had a hard charge in the middle through those 100 wall ball shots. Big sets on the last 25 chest to bar. Once he got to the pig, those first 5 were a little shaky, and he had this miss and took a step back, collected himself, and then figured it out. His last 5 reps were his fastest 5 reps, and that's what got him to win here in test number 2.